What's up, athletes? Welcome to this video. So today we're going to talk about how there's an obvious gap between injury rehab and strength and conditioning and actual full-time play. Actually, even before that, all the stuff they do, all the plyometric jumps and the jump training and the speed training, to then being able to play sport, for 2 hours, 3 hours competitively on a high level with high impact. This goes for every sport: soccer, basketball, football. Doesn't matter what sport it is. I will use basketball because that's the one that I'm really passionate about. But this applies to every sport that we see in our gym. So let's talk about this. Think about it, guys. If, say, you go to your skills trainer, right? So say Tyler Ralph here is an amazing skills trainer. This is not a knock on him at all. But say you go to your skills trainer, okay, and he's like, all right, man, I want you to get low on this crossover. Okay. Now, Tyler, of course, this guy's a taller dude than Tyler Ralph. And so that means Tyler Ralph's center of gravity is closer to his base. But say that Tyler Ralph tells this guy, RJ Hampton, get lower on your crossover. And he's trying his best, right? He's like doing the best he can. But if he lacks ability to bend his both hips, bend his knees or bend his ankles for whatever reason, say that there's stiffness, there's adhesions, there are restrictions, he's over tight, he hasn't built muscles elsewhere, he's going to find another body part like the lower back to do the work. So I can already tell that his lower back is getting a bit tired here. And most of you that are watching this, and if you have had coaches say, get lower on your cross, you're like, I'm trying, coach. I'm doing the best that I can, but I just don't have it. It doesn't mean you need to try harder. Okay, trying harder is not always the answer. Doing more is not always the answer. It's working smarter. Instead, what if you just worked every single joint and built the ability for every joint in your body to get that range of motion necessary to get lower? Because there's a lot of body parts needed. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your spine all need to be mobile enough to get low into that position, let alone train what Tyler Ralph was telling you to do over and over for so many drills, right? Cross, 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 tween, tween, and he gets after it. Dunk. Oh, he missed it there. So you have to be able to get into the positions that coach is asking you to get into. And that's not determined by how hard you work on the same skill. It's actually determined by what you do off the court, okay? So, and it's also, of course, it's on and off the court, but it really depends for these people to be more off the court than on the court, because they're going to spend more time on the basketball court. That's what they love to do. They're specialists. Okay. Now you go over to the workout side, the strength and conditioning side. People are doing these ball slams, doing the trap bar deadlifts. These are good movements, but again, does it really matter whether a person can lift a lot of weight under load, or does it matter whether their ankle can bend and their knee can bend and their hip can bend so that they can get into a low position and then train in that shape? Okay, so trap bar deadlifts might have some crossover, definitely have crossover. Same with farmer's walks, 100% have crossover. But what movements do these athletes not have? This is the thought process we have with the unstoppable baller. Where are they not able to move? And where they're not able to move will give us a hint as to what's happening on the court. Why do they keep hurting themselves? Why do they keep missing the layup, or not able to change direction very well on one side, or they slow down, they can't catch up to their defender? It gives you clues. So work on those movements first. And then let's see. Yeah, this is the skills training. This is the strength and conditioning. And then this is like the agility work that people love to do, right? But again, this doesn't matter if you're training on a foundation that's not strong. So if your feet are like flat and you're doing this movement, you're just collapsing into your feet, guys. Then your knees are collapsing and your hips are collapsing. So this looks pretty, it looks fun, you're doing the thing, but it doesn't necessarily transfer in the way you need it to. You get some fast ability, but the ability is in the shape that is not so conducive to your joints, right? Your ankles collapse, your knees collapse, your hips collapse. You're building speed on that foundation, a foundation that's going to probably fall apart in the next few years. So instead of that, okay, build the foundation first, make your joints really mobile and strong, then move into strength and conditioning. Do strength and conditioning that's relevant to moving in the positions you don't have first, okay?